Why are you so implacably opposed to the President of the United States, our #1 ally, coming to this country?
Well, I'm opposed to his views, for example. I mean, Trump himself has been met with protests in his own country amid, claims of, different groups and the things that he said which are not based on fact, but, things that he believes himself which are not true.
Why are you not prepared to tolerate other people's views? Isn't that a rather intolerant thing to...
It's not intolerant, Piers. It's when your views infringe on other groups' ability to just exist, and when your views are not based on fact but actual lies and assumptions you make with groups of people, those things that you stand up to. Stuff about Mexicans, stuff about black people that he said, his opposition to women's rights, for example, is really important.
OK, give me one view that you find particularly objectionable.
I mean, the comments he's made... It's not about banning him, Piers. We live in a world where your words have consequences and your words mean things. Sure. And through your words, people take out certain actions.
Sure.
We see loads of churches, black churches, being burned in America in the wake of Trump's presidency, anti-Semitic attacks in Jewish synagogues.
What people say
actually has an impact on the things that people do. And I think it's really important that we oppose those views because they're not based on actual fact. They're just based on fantasy.
Sorry, if I missed this, how many black churches have been burned?
In the wake of Trump's campaign and since his presidency, there's been loads of attacks of black churches and across America.
You said loads of black churches have been burned.
Loads of churches have been burned down.
Where?
I said in the wake of his campaign and under his presidency, we've seen that happen. And things like this happen when certain views are normalised, like the attacks that Trump has on, for example, Black Lives Matter.
Before we go to Ben, who I'm sure will respond to it. Before we go to Ben, I just want to put this to you. Obviously, we've given state visits in the last few years to Vladimir Putin, right? To the Chinese president, to the King of Saudi Arabia, right? To leaders from the Emir of Kuwait, for example, where they still put people in jail for being gay and so on. They all have views that you would find unpalatable, these people, right? Where was the mass protest against those state visits? Did you lead any?
I personally didn't lead any. I am definitely opposed to all those people coming out.
Why do you find Donald Trump more objectionable than the King of Saudi Arabia?
I don't find him more objectionable. It's about the weight and the power you have in the world. Donald Trump is arguably one of the most powerful politicians in the world, and what he says has weight. I think it's really important.
You don't think the King of Saudi Arabia or the President of Russia or China are powerful people? This
government sells arms to Saudi Arabia, so I think we will leave that for another discussion. But what I'm trying to say is that President Trump's views has weight in the world. We see loads of people, have an impact on lots of people. And I think it's really important that we stand up to them.
Ben Ferguson, so apparently loads of black churches have been burned to the ground since Trump was elected, and that's why he can't come to Britain.
Yeah, if anyone wants to know what pathological lying sounds like, you literally just heard it with a pathological lie about loads of black churches being burned in America, which has not and did not happen before, during the campaign, or after Donald Trump was the President of the United States of America. This is a perfect example of exactly how intolerant so many people are to views they disagree with while screaming that they want tolerance from Donald Trump and others. It is this ridiculous, absurd lying that they do, and they say, oh, well, all these black churches have been burned. That's just a lie. That's a pathological lie. And they say, we want you to be tolerant of our viewpoint, so therefore we're going to be completely intolerant of anyone else's viewpoint, and we demand they do not come to this country. We demand that they do not come around us. That's insanity.
Sorry, can I just interrupt?
Sure.
We're slightly missing the point here, because this isn't about people wanting his trip banned. This is about President Trump now saying he is not coming to the UK. Now, he is the most powerful person in the world. What I don't understand personally is why he feels too sensitive to now come to the UK.
Well, let me say this. It's not a true story. Donald Trump has not canceled his trip or delayed his trip. I've talked to several people at the White House that are laughing at this story because it's so absurd. There was no conversation about, hey, are people, if they're not going to love me, I might not come over. Donald Trump meets with people and sees people all the time throughout the campaign and since he was elected that do not like him. This, just like the lady that's sitting next to y'all right now who cannot stand him. He's not going to not come to the UK or any other country because of an individual or a protester. He sees protesters everywhere.